Hey, are you a business owner, entrepreneur, or professional? If so, we want you to apply to be a featured guest on our show. My name is Adam Torres, and I host the Mission Matters series of podcasts. I've recorded over 3,000 episodes, and we are just getting started. How do you know if you'd be a good guest to be on the show? Well, only one way to find out, and that's to apply, but I'm going to let you in on a little secret. We want guests that have a story to tell, guests with a brand, a product, or a service that can benefit my audience of listeners. If this sounds like you, go to missionmatters.com and click on Be Our Guest to apply. I'd love to talk to you and get to know more about your story. Again, head on over to missionmatters.com and click on Be Our Guest to apply. All right, now let's get into the show. Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Mission Matters. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres. Keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, missionmatters.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so today I have Christopher Gerteisen on the line, and he's CEO and Director at Nova Minerals. Christopher, welcome to the show.
Hi, Adam. Great to be with you today.
All right, so excited to talk more about Nova Minerals today and really get into some of your projects, including your flagship Estelle Gold project. We'll get into Thompson Brothers Lithium project, and also just talk maybe about a little bit more about some of your other strategic investments. But just to get us started, we'll start this show as we start them all, Christopher, with our Mission Matters Minute. So we at Mission Matters, we amplify stories for entrepreneurs, executives, and experts. So that's our mission here. Christopher, what mission matters to you?
Oh, I'm glad you asked, Adam. So we kind of have three key pillars, and that would be responsible, sustainable development. And you can see that, for example, with our lithium project in Canada that we're talking about today. This will be the only zero-carbon spodumene operation in the world, because it's all hydropower out there. And so that's just one example. There'll be many more we can talk about today. Of course, aggressive growth. We're an aggressive growth company, and you will see that with our flagship Estelle Gold project in Alaska. We're on the fast track to production here. We'll talk more about that. And then we like to keep it local with communities. You know, the most recent example of that is that the fish counts were a bit low here in the Yukon in Alaska this year. The governor called us up. He's got us on speed dial, and we pitched in with our other industry partners here to provide fish for the local remote communities out there. So yeah, responsible development, aggressive growth, and keeping it local, supporting our communities.
Man, that's awesome. Love bringing mission-based entrepreneurs and executives on the line to share, why they do what they do. And let's just start off with maybe give us an overview of Nova Minerals in general. So tell us a little bit more about the company.
Right. So Nova Minerals, we're ASX listed, NBA on the Australian Stock Exchange, and our flagship is the Estelle Gold project here in Alaska. And so our project is located in the Tintina Gold Province, and this has been one of the most prolific belts in recent decades, with over 200 million ounces of gold in discoveries and productions. This, Adam, is where the historic Alaskan gold rushes took place, the Klondike and all these things that you've heard
That's
of.
Awesome.
Now we know where all that gold came from, right? So that's where we are. To name a few other projects in the region your listeners might have heard of is like Kinross, Fort Knox up there in Fairbanks, Victoria Gold, the Dublin Gulf project on the Yukon side, the Donlin Creek deposit, that's Barrick Nova Gold there, 40 million ounces in that deposit, 10 million ounce plus deposits not uncommon in our neighborhood. And that's what we're on to with our Corbel deposit here at Estelle. We've come a long way. We seriously started our field work. This is kind of, if not unprecedented, very rare to have this type of growth that we've achieved. So we started in 2019 with our maiden drill program, and the results came back even bigger and better than we even imagined, with a 2.5 million ounce maiden resource back in 2019. On that basis, we really committed the capital to put in a permanent camp and winterize everything, and we're a year-round operation. We've been working nonstop with our drilling campaigns and development exploration programs since then, And so in 2 years now, we've increased that resource by over 2 million ounces. So that's a discovery rate of 1 million ounces a year. Again, like I said, in this day and age, that's just like, it's very unique, very unique. And as we speak right now, we've just been drilling all year. We're going to come out with we have 4.7 million ounces currently, and we're about to, and that was released in April this year. And we're going to do another resource update in Q4 later this year, and we expect to see a significant upgrade again. So it's just the trajectory on our resources is just is just up, very steeply up. So it's very, very exciting times, because what we're talking about is intrusive related gold systems, right? So people might imagine when, if they're not in the mining business, they envision these small veins that the miners kind of chase around underground. Well, these intrusive related gold systems, these are bulk mineable systems. And so it's not just a little vein or a stringer that you're chasing around. It's like the entire rock mass has sheeted veins in it, and it's all mineralized. And so what that creates is ideal economics. It's just very low strip ratio, meaning the waste to ore ratio is just, approaches zero. So everything you dig up is basically pay dirt. It's right on the surface, open pit style. And 20, 30 decades of mine life on some of these deposits. And Korbel, Maine, this 4.7 million ounce resource that we already have is certainly one of these, and it still remains wide open, and we just continue to draw out there. But what I'm talking about with Korbel is only one of 15 other known prospects on our 324 square kilometer claim block out here, so quite a large land holding. And 20 miles along mineralized strike to the south of Korbel is the RPM prospect. I say mineralized strike because as you fly that distance from Korbel to RPM, it's just littered with gold. So it's like a kid in a candy store out here, right?
Wow.
Not much vegetation there. You look down, you see all these very red and brownish color anomalies, so you can just pinpoint these other prospects we have. But RPM down there to the south is the next cab off the rank. We actually started a drill program there, our first drill program there this year. We're getting the results in. We got a recent news release, and it's looking very, very good, and much higher grade down there, actually. And so we'll also have a maiden resource on RPM coming out later this year as well. So that'll add some serious depth to the project. Now we'll have 2 deposits, 2 resources that we'll be advancing in the years to come. And then in addition to that, with all these other gold showings and these other 15 other known prospects we have, every summer season we do reconnaissance exploration. Our geologists get out there mapping, sampling, and we've made some pretty nice additional discoveries. And these have been recent news releases. If your listeners, go and look it up on our LinkedIn or Twitter or website or what have you. And this would be the Train Shoeshine prospect area, which is what we call it. And there seems to be another one of these intrusive related gold systems there, similar to Korbel. We have some high grade samples that we've gotten returned there from the surface. We've mapped it on the surface. It's over 1 kilometer in strike length and 500 meters in width, just where we can observe it. So there's some kind of another massive intrusive related gold system there, and we'll be advancing that as the years to come as well. And also the other one that we discovered this year is what we call the Stony Vein prospect. And what we have out there is we've discovered a polymetallic vein system. So we're a gold company, but now we've discovered gold, but also silver and copper at the Stony Vein. And so we map this and can follow it 4 kilometers strike length. We see it 300 meters in vertical distance, and it's up to 10 meters in width. And that's just that one vein. And then they seem to be stacked in there because there's another structure that we see poking up there just to the west called the Rainy Day Vein. And it seems to be covered a bit more than the Stony Vein, but that seems to be another sort of parallel structure. So quite a large polymetallic system there as well, which adds a whole other dimension to the Estelle Gold Project. We have gold investors and people interested in gold. Now a different kind of investor is looking at us to taking a more keener eye of what we're doing out here. So that's kind of an overview of what we got going. We're on the path to production here. We've just been just going fast track, nonstop. As I said, what we're going to do with this next resource study coming out, scoping study, soon to follow after that resource. So we'll have a scoping study, hopefully later this year as well, after the resource. Then we're moving into the pre-feasibility studies into 2022. Hope to release that by 2023, and then a decision to mine 2024, 2025. After the bankable feasibility study, I'd like to be digging up the first dirt and pouring the first gold around that 2025, 2026 timeframe.
Wow, and you started with this, I believe you said in 2019, right? So that's pretty aggressive, right?
Oh yeah, as I said in the beginning, I mean that's part of
our
mission.
That's kind of uncommon, I would argue. Like you're looking at for what you're talking about, like it normally it can be upwards of 10 years to get to how far you're getting, and obviously these are aggressive goals. Can you talk a little bit more maybe about your team that are putting this together? Because it's something like the way you're making progress. Can you tell us a little bit more about your team?
Right, absolutely, and so this is probably why we have the aggressive growth.
For sure. I figured they had to be, Christopher.
Yeah, so they're entrepreneurs. Our directors have been big in the micro cap space and everything from technology, biotech, also the initial lithium rush. In Argentina, the brines there in those days, and they built several companies up there, also construction. And so it's good to have that entrepreneurial spirit in your board of directors, because, you get old school mining guys sometimes, it takes too long, right? So that's our team. In terms of I really have make a lot of accolades for our team on the ground. We use a company here, a geological services company called Yakuskakon, and they're our partners. They provide all our local geologists and technicians, and you just cannot do it without these guys. Alaska's a resource economy. That's what we do here. We do oil, we do fisheries, timber, and minerals, and so we have a great pool of labor here and of technical expertise just locally here in Alaska. And so we also use a company called Ruin Drilling. Ruin Drilling has just been fantastic. What a world-class outfit they are. And so, all of our contractors and numerous aircraft companies for personnel and freight flights. And I'll shout out to Andrew Airways, Glen Air, Desert Air, Ryan Air. All these guys are our partners. And another one is in the winter season, which we're coming into now, is we always do a snow road to access the site in the wintertime, right? So, I said we have a year-round operation. We have a beautiful piece of infrastructure out there, a 4,000-foot airstrip. I can bring in DC-3s, very large planes. That's how we service and access the site in the summertime, because we're only 80 miles as the crow flies from Anchorage, the main town here in Alaska. But in the wintertime, this is in many ways our best season, our most productive season, because we can access the site via snow road. And this is how we bring in. Very common in this part of the world, mines are constructed and operated just using snow roads, and so this is how we bring in our camp units, our heavy equipment, more drill rigs, which we're planning to do in the winter, and the outfit that helps us there is Snowcat Services out of Willow, Alaska, and they've just been fantastic. We've been doing this for several seasons now, and those guys just go hard, and we get it done every year, and so those are the people. We're a very tight-knit. Tight group, sort of directors in sort of the management executive side at Nova, but we mainly use contractors, very skilled and contractors and effective contractors that are local here from Alaska. And there you go, aggressive growth. Keep it local when you can.
Man, that's awesome. And what a great story, Christopher. I mean, I love it. I love to see it, an executive level, like a bunch of entrepreneurial-minded people, aggressive growth, really going at it and setting out, certain timelines that are aggressive and going after them. So overall, I mean, this is awesome. I think you mentioned quite a few projects here, but I wanted to highlight maybe the Thompson Brothers Lithium project. Can you tell us a little bit more about that one?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is where the sustainable development comes in. Located in Manitoba, Canada, and in Manitoba, Canada, it's all hydropower, right? And so this is where the zero carbon operation comes in, and so it'll be the first of its kind in the world for a spodumene hard rock type lithium deposit. Lithium market is hot right now. It's really hot right now, Adam. And so what we're doing, it's majority owned right now, 74% owned by Nova Minerals. And we're looking to spin that off, and that IPO is going to happen very shortly here. I expect days rather than weeks it's gonna list on the NASDAQ, right? And we're looking to, so the IPO valuation will be $100 million, and it'll raise about $23 million, and then we'll complete with that $23 million. We'll finish the PEA that we started. It's about 80% complete, and we'll also continue drilling. And because the resource upside there is just amazing. Our peers that are already listed that have a similar style of deposit, same size, like we have 11 million tons at 1% spodumene currently. Our peers that are listed and have their PEA complete, they are running valuations of $500 million right now. So we expect that stock to run quite a bit. And with the natural dilution, I think that Nova will probably drop down to around that 65 to 68% ownership. And there's already been several funds that have approached us with the lithium market so hot. They want to do a block trade, buy a big chunk of it for us. A couple of them have actually approached us and said they just want to buy the whole thing outright. Of course, we don't want to do that, especially not pre-IPO. We want to get the maximum value for Nova. We'll wait till IPO, let that one run. We think, easily $500 million company, just that one alone. And that could go up to, once we start drilling again, because, where we have the 11 million tons is our one pegmatite dike, and it remains open along strike on both ends. But these things occur in swarms. So that's just the Thompson Brothers Dike 1. We already know there's Dike 2 and Dike 3 right there parallel on either side of that Dike 1 that we have to drill. And then also we've discovered now additional dike swarms there. So one we call the Sherritt-Gordon Dike Swarm and the Grassy River Dike Swarm. And so the surface sampling from those two areas look good as well. So more drilling, we expect to get up into that 20 to 30 million ton range at, around that 1 to 1.2% lithium content. So think the other thing is it's ideally located right on the rail line there in Manitoba, right? And so what that allows us to do is we can just take our product and put it right on the rail line. It goes right down into Otto Alley, down through through the states there, all the way down to Texas. It ties us into that whole rail system, and then also it runs to the north to the port of Churchill, and we have a lot of potential European customers approaching us for our product, and so we could easily ship it out to those markets as well, right? And so you got to think the recent Tesla Piedmont deal, right? Piedmont. So our resources are similar to Piedmont, and except they're actually higher quality, and so similar to that, a lot of auto companies will be interested in this lithium product. And now whether we do offtake agreements, because there are certain just to the south of us, there's an operation there that run out. They have a lithium concentrator to make the 6% spodumene, but they don't have any resources left. They're mined out. So we're the most advanced project in the area. So there's potential offtake agreements there just for direct shipping, or of course we're looking down the value chain at concentrating it ourselves. 6% spodumene right now. I see there's prices of $2,500 a ton going on right now. So it's really a hot market, and we're also looking even further down. Building hydroxide plants and things like that. That's where you get some serious margins there. But so we're gonna hold on to what we got now. IPO's coming on Snow Lake, and there'll be some serious value coming back to Nova here as we move forward with that one.
That's awesome. Well, Christopher, I just have to say it's been great catching up with you and having you on the show and just learning more about the projects you have going on in your team. That being said, if somebody's listening to this right now and they want to learn more about Nova Minerals or follow any of the projects, what's the best way for them to do that?
Right. So you go to novaminerals.com.au. That's kind of the go-to. And then we're on LinkedIn. We're on Twitter. Nova Minerals, I believe the handles are, and we do constant updates there. I don't personally run it, but it's there. So I think the handles Nova Minerals, and then we're listed on the ASX. NVA is the ticker. We're listed on the OTC NVAAF. We're also listed in Frankfurt in Germany. The code there is QM3, and so you get locked into tied into any of those. And you'll get constant updates. The news flow is going to be it's going to be hot and heavy here coming up with all these things that I've talked about. More drill results, resource updates, completion of the scoping study, all these things. So News flow will be strong, and it's exciting times ahead. As we're sitting on some, obviously, as you can see, some world-class assets here, and we're going to be bringing those into production very shortly.
Fantastic. Well, Christopher, again, thank you for coming on the show today. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. Hope you learned a lot. If you did, don't forget, hit that subscribe button. We definitely want you to be a return listener and return visitor. I have many more mission-based entrepreneurs and executives coming up for you next, and don't want you to miss a thing. And Christopher, thank you again for coming on. It has been a pleasure.
Thanks for having us, Adam, and looking forward to the next one.